we are ranking the top 40 Wonder Kids in the goal rankings from 2016. Now, 2016 now is 10 years. So we've had to see these guys almost like at least half of their career so far, or like 60% of their career so far. So we can actually have a proper judgment on their careers thus far. If this video gets 10 likes, I'm going to continue this series, and I'm going to do it 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. We'll stop at like 2023, because I think after then, 3 years is too early to actually like judge these guys. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I have 6 tiers, as you can see here. The uppest tier, the Ballon d'Or level. If you ever reach the Ballon d'Or level where your talent was supposed to reach, then here we have the world class. If you're world class at any point or for a good period in your career, then fine and good. Great career, you're not quite world class, but you did well from yourself. Meh is like, we're just there. Flop is like the hype was like this and your career was so bad. And then who is like, who
are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
Get me? So without further ado, this is the full list. It's meant to be a top 50, but I ended up making it top 40 just because 50 is too much. You get me? So without further ado, let's start from the number 40. Who
are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
Apparently, this is number 39 as well. This is number 39, is number 40. Lee Sung-woo and number 40. I'm going to do them together. Leandrino.
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm going to like. Who? You get me? Like, these guys didn't amount to much. Most of them spent their careers in maybe D level sides, D division side. So like, if I cannot recognize you, then you're in the who category. I'm sorry. Number 38. Who? Okay, this is gonna be a lot of guys are gonna be in the who category. I'm sorry. Number 37 is Dembele. Wow, it's interesting to see that Dembele didn't rank that highly in this list. That is interesting to see. But Ousmane Dembele is not even just the Ballon d'Or level thing, in it. He actually won the thing. You get me? He obviously had his injuries. He started really, really well in Rennes. They went to Dortmund, did exceptionally well as well. Got his big money move to Barca. Didn't quite work out. The injuries were really after this guy. Went to PSG. First season was okay. It wasn't as bad injury-wise. And then, the second season after Mbappe left was just something out of this world. Last season, injuries kind of came back a bit. He was rested as well a lot. And, he maintained his level, had 6 World Cup goals in just completed World Cup, back-to-back Champions Leagues, a Ballon d'Or. I mean, this is more than what he could have dreamt of, and definitely what his career deserved. On to the next. Lafont had a lot of potential, and I'm going to just give him I'm stuck between meh and flop. I'm genuinely stuck between meh and flop. Because right now he's in Greece. I mean, he had a lot of hype. Lafont had a lot of hype. I remember. I'm going to put him at flop. I think he could have done way better with his career. The next on the list. The next is someone named Baldwin Jackson.
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
The next is Ray Menach, who has, I won't really say who, is a decent, I'll just put him in meh. I mean, he didn't really make it that far. He plays in Turkey. He was good about 2, 3 years ago where he scored a decent amount of goals, 2023 Turkish season. But, I'll just put him in a meh. Dragowski, he had high potential in FIFA 16, I think. I'm gonna put him in because I kind of know him, so I'll put him in flop. He hasn't really done much for his career at all. Pedro Ferreira is a decent fullback nowadays. He had hype a bit back in the day, but his career never panned at the highest of levels. I'll put him in meh. Boja Mayoral. I can never forget the hype with this guy, especially after Cristiano left. One of those guys that were tipped. You had that other guy, Mariano Diaz as well. But Boja Mayoral, I'll put him in meh. It was just there. It was just there, like just there. He had some decent season. I think he had a 15 league goal season in La Liga a couple of years ago, but nothing too special. Luka Jovic goes in as a flop, in my opinion. He's a flop. He hit flop is ooh. You know what? Jovic had hype. Then he hit highs. He hit a high with Frankfurt that season before he signed for Madrid, but the Madrid move found out so badly that I can't help but put him at flop. I'm sorry, I just can't help but put him in at flop. Who is he? Please, who? Please, he's going to the who category, please. Who is?
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of know him at the late, but I think I also put him in the who category. He's not even up to me. He hasn't done anything good so far. He's just been there, but at least he's playing professionally, right? Hakim Mastu is going in flop. I'm sorry. He is going in flop. I can never forget 2016. I can never forget in Milan. The clips on YouTube. I had friends in real life that they did not want to allow me to rest. Mastur. Is he not playing like Serie C or something at this point? It's just sad. Up next, we have Mandroga. Mandogora, I'll put him in there. I mean, he's playing top flight football, right? Playing in Italian league, and stuff like that. Didn't do too much, but the average player in Italian league, in top flight league at least, and that's really the minimum requirements for me. Unal, I'm tempted for flop because I didn't even know he played for City, but I'll put him in there. He was decent in La Liga. In Bournemouth, he hasn't hit the ground running yet, but I know in La Liga, 15 goal season as well in 2023. So I'll put Unal in meh.
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
Abdelhak Nouri. This is heartbreaking actually. I'm not gonna judge him. He suffered a terrible injury. Brain injury, like a year after this list was even made safe. And he just never was able to play. He hasn't played since then. Terrible brain injury, hope he's alright. John Kevin Augustine is an interesting one. I think I'll put him at flop. He was rated really, really highly back then. He was rated really, really highly, and it just did not happen for him. I mean, he was in Leipzig, it was okay, and he was even released by Basel a couple of years ago.
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
There are a lot of who in this list. Wow, this is Victor Osimhen. I'll put him in world class. There was a period, or there still is a period that he is considered a world class footballer. This is an interesting thing because he was still at his club in Nigeria when this list was made. When he was even put in this list, he was still in the Ultimate Striker Academy when this list was made, and was put in this list for his exploits in the Under-17 Championship in 2015. So Osimhen gets in at number. So Osimhen gets in at world class. Up next, who? Patrick Roberts. I don't know who he is. Umar Sadiq. Umar Sadiq. He didn't have the hype that is needed for me to put him at flop. That's the reason why he will make the meh category. And the only reason why he makes meh category is because he didn't have the hype enough that for me will make me put him at flop. He's the almost bang average striker that I've ever seen. And at times frustrating to watch. Diawara, I'll put him at flop. Not too crazy hype like that, but then again, his career, I mean, he fell off to Mourinho in 2022. His career has just not gone great at all. Van der Beek. Unfortunately, flop. For the hype, he didn't achieve anywhere near enough. For the hype and the amount of money he had spent on him after the season he had, he didn't achieve anywhere near enough. With the injuries, deep in form, inconsistencies, I'll put him at flop. Gabriel Jesus. Ooh. Between world class and great career, I am confused. He never nailed a starting spot at City, and even when City did not have a striker for 2 years, he still couldn't nail a spot at that point, right? That is first half of the season at Arsenal before the World Cup was incredible. I'll put him a great career, not quite world class. I don't think like he was spear. Like there was never a point where he was top 3, top 5 strikers in the world. Yeah, so Serini goes to flop in my opinion. Serini goes to meh actually. Serini goes to meh. He had high hopes, not quite what we thought it was gonna be, but he's not as bad as these guys and flop. Plays the Rangers. Had decent time in Ajax as well. He was compared to Robben and Obama. He was just there at the end of the day. He was just there. Joe Gomez, great career. I mean, he's a Champions League winner, he's a Premier League winner. Never nailed on a starting spot at Liverpool. Sometimes injuries to affect him, and he still hasn't scored a goal in his career. But then again, he's been a second sub at best for a great Liverpool team. So for that, I think he has had a great career. Maybe on the lower ends of great career. I know I'm done with this video, but he has had a great career. Malcolm. Ooh. I'm tempted to put him at flop, I mean, Barca signed him. Barca signed this guy, man. That's how good I guess he was. But after the Barca signing, everything kind of went downhill. He was good in Al Hilal. I mean, they signed him and Neymar the same summer, if I remember correctly. He was in Zenit after Barca. He was okay in Zenit as well. For Al Hilal, he was really good. He led them to that league title. Where will I put Malcolm? I'm going to put him in meh. And you know what? Ooh, I'll put him in meh. I think he leads. I'll put him in meh. This is not ranked. Renato Sanchez. Flop. I'm sorry. Flop. The Euros campaign he had was insane. And I'm sure that one of the biggest reasons why they put him in this list. I mean, he went to Bayern, I think the following season or the year after that. Didn't do well, went to Swansea, flopped, and it's just not been good enough since then. But then again, he had that spell in Lille where they won the league in 2022. And he was pretty good in Lille, and it felt like a rejuvenation of his career. But after then, he just didn't pan out again. So I think he remains at flop.
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying?
Guessing, I'll put him at meh. I think guessing was meh. He didn't have high highs, he didn't have low lows. I mean, he's in Brazil currently. I'll put him at meh. I'll put him at meh. Odegaard. Ooh. Great career or world class? Has Odegaard been better in his career than Jesus and Joe? Definitely better than Joe Gomez. Jesus. But then again, Odegaard had a spell where he was considered world class. I never considered him world. I'll put him at great career. I'll put him at. I don't think he reached the highs that Osimhen reached. And Osimhen is the bar for world class, at least so far. I'll put him at a great career, at least for now. Captain Arsenal to the league title win last season. He was their number 10 in their resurgence in 2022. When he went to Madrid, he didn't really, make friends, obviously. And all those loans. He was decent in Sociedad. But then again, nothing too crazy, right? But I really like his career. Like, he has done really well for himself. And he has had a great career at least. Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves. I think I'll put him at great career. I'll put him at great career. I mean, he went to Wolves in the Championship, brought up to the Premier League. It was incredible. Probably could have gone to a bigger club than where he eventually went to, which was Al Hilal, I think. And he was in good for Al Hilal. He's a staple in the Portuguese team, won the Nations League. He has done really well for himself, especially considering the clubs he has played for. And he could have played for bigger clubs than that. Trust me, he was that good. He was really incredible. He really showed his potential. So for that, I'll give him great career. Donnarumma, world class. World class, Donnarumma. This guy. It's interesting with Donnarumma because I think up until like the Euros in 2021, we didn't really say he had lived up to the hype, but that Euros campaign was incredible. Then after the Euros, he had that spell in PSG where he was at the epicenter of their errors and their Champions League knockouts, and you're thinking, wow, was he a flop? But now his last 2 years has been picture perfect. I know he didn't end the season great at Man City, but then again, Donnarumma is top 5 in his positions in the world. That's all you need to be world class. And if he maintains his level, improves on his weaknesses, which is hard for him to do because he's already older, than improvements in those weaknesses, I think he can go down as one of the greatest of his generation. So yeah, world class is fair. This is Mbolo. Flop. I'm sorry, flop. Mbolo is a flop. I'm sorry, flop. I mean, Mbolo, by the hype in 2016, should have been what Osimhen is minimum. It should have been what Osimhen is minimum. The hype this guy had was ridiculous. And he just never even performed well enough to even get those big moves in the first place. So, he stays here. Tillemans, I think I won't put him at world class. I don't think he reached the level of world class yet, but great career is fine by me. I mean, Tillemans, made his move to United this summer. He started out really, really well at Anderlecht, went to Leicester City, was incredible there. Although that tape of him jogging back took his career back like 5 years. He had to claw back to get his career from there. But after then, he went to, Aston Villa. He rejuvenated his career from there. Captain of Belgium, and now he has gone to Man United at 28. Really, really good career that he has carved out for himself. So this is the final list. We obviously would not rate our man here. We have a lot of I'm sorry, man, I don't know these people. Like, if you are here, I don't know you. I have no idea who you are. So we have the woos, we have the flops. Some people flops here: Van der Beek, Renato Sanchez, Mbolo, Habib Mastur, Jovic. Flafont, good amount of flops. Yeah. Meh, the guys are they're all right. Malcolm and them man. And then again, we had the great career. This was like the cream of the cream. And a lot of this. Funny enough, the person that ranks number one was 37th in this list. He was in number 37 in this list. And he ranks number one. And a lot of the guys in this great career section actually were quite high in the list. So, like I'll say top 13 upward. So, they didn't really do that bad in the upper echelons of the list. I mean, Embolo was really the one that messed up the upper echelons of the list. Embolo, really, I mean. Maybe Embolo, Malcolm, and Gerson, the people that messed up the upper echelons of that list. But at the end of the day, I think they did fine. I mean, Osimhen, Donnarumma, Dembele, Jesus, Odegaard, and the rest. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.